Well, hello. Today my name is Geraldine Ryan-Lush and I'm back again to share some of my books with you. Some of my best stories I've enjoyed writing and that have been on the market for a while, and I'm going to give you another treat and read from two more of my books, which are the Malcolm series, or at least two of the Malcolm series. These are bookmarks from my other book, Here's on Beers. I have into these books. But anyways, the Malcolm series embodies four main characters. Malcolm Kirsten Wall, I guess you could say probably a preteen boy, and a hapless preteen boy, and his friend Mooney, his mom, and a girl he has a crush on, Charlotte O'Royle. The first book I'm going to read from is Malcolm the Klutz. And this book is the story of Malcolm and his wayward adventures and his embarrassment and his, all mixed feelings over a girl, his first crush actually. However, Malcolm can't dance, so he's going to go to a dance where he hopes to run into Charlotte O'Royle, and he can't dance, so he's going through all kinds of performances trying to prepare for the dance. I guess he's what you consider a klutz, and we'll see how he makes out anyway from being a klutz. So I'm going to read from chapter 6. Embarrassed to death. Mooney mug-faced over at me and started doing his impression of David Letterman. I started to laugh. Mooney Hicks, when he wants to, can be the funniest guy in school. He started doing his impression of Mr. Troke, the principal, his head back and walking like a giraffe. I started to laugh again. I couldn't help it. I tried to hold it in, but I burst out laughing. Plop. And here is Charlotte, shocked. Out popped the wad of extra sugar-free gum I had been hiding underneath my tongue. It stuck onto Charlotte's hair and saliva sprayed all over her lacy collar. Charlotte gave a gasp. She stopped dead in the middle of "I tell my blues they mustn't show" and glared at me. "Why, you're gross, Malcolm Wall," she spluttered, stomping off the dance floor. "I'm never dancing with you again as long as I live." Once more I was standing there like a robe, right in the middle of the piercing spotlight Mooney's father had set up for his camcorder video camera. What a star! I couldn't get to move 1 foot forward. I was wishing the floor would open up and swallow me. I was that embarrassed. I was wishing I had never set eyes on Charlotte O'Royle, let alone come to this silly party where no one wanted to do anything except be all spiffied up, dance, and be on video camera. I was wishing I had caught the bus to the mall instead and had a chat with Slick. I would have had a much better time. I glanced over at Mooney. He was talking with Charlotte and looking really pleased with himself. He had done it all on purpose, I realized, just to make me laugh and make a fool of myself. Mooney Hicks's home videos with Malcolm Kirsten Wall, the #1 klutz of all. Pick up your copy today. I wanted to go over and punch him, but I figured I might need him again sometime to index file my sweaters or something, seeing that strategic #1 for saving household expenses would be in effect for a very long time. Besides, I wasn't sure if Charlotte O'Royle was worth the trouble. Although she sure was dressed nice, and she still has Cleopatra eyes, even without false eyelashes. I drank some orange punch from the big glass bowl that was sitting on a table. Then I decided to walk home. It wasn't far to my apartment, and it was a nice night. The kind of night when all the stars are out clear as a bell. And you think that maybe you might be an airline pilot when you grow up, just to be up there among them and go off somewhere exciting. somewhere where there are no beds to make, no sissies, no overdue science projects, and no Mooney's funniest home videos. Heaven on earth and then some. So I wonder how Malcolm makes out after all. Well, I guess you'll have to read the rest of the story to find out. I hope this will be a teaser for you. The other one in the series, or one of the other ones in the series, is Malcolm the Hamster Lady. So it's still Malcolm and his scrapes he gets into and so on. In spite of his generous heart and his good intentions, he gets into scrapes. All trying to do the right thing. Anyway, he offers to look after a pet hamster for this nice lady who's going out of town. However, when he gets to Hamster, his little brother Susie, who's a major character, I forgot to mention Susie actually, he is a major character in these books, his little brother Susie. He steps on the hamster, and guess what? The hamster dies. So Malcolm is horrified and tries to replace Mrs. D's, the lady, her precious pet hamster, with a duplicate. And this certainly is by no means easy. So I'm going to read a chapter when he's out trying to clone the hamster, that is, find a duplicate hamster that looks just like Archibald, the original hamster. Mrs. Dorchester's, or Mrs. D's pet, his name is Archibald. Anyway, he's in a store and he's trying to clone Archibald or find another one like him. And in the midst of all this, Mrs. Dorchester comes back and wants to see her pet hamster, who no longer is around because he's gone, dead. So Archibald is in the shop and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do. I grabbed up the telephone book and flipped through the yellow pages for the number for Pets Paradise in the mall. They always carried the smartest, healthiest pets. They carried Slick, didn't they? For a second, I wish Slick were here with me now to make me laugh and get my mind off Mrs. Dorchester and her hamster. I'm very sorry, the lady answered when I asked her if they had any teddy bear hamsters in stock. 2 boys came in and bought the very last 2 teddy bear hamsters this morning. They bought 2 because they said they wanted them to be company for each other. Isn't that cute? I could hear her chuckling at the other end. We have more on order, she went on, but Mr. Pettigrew's might just have some. Have you tried there? No, I haven't, I said. Thank you. I hung up the phone. Then I groaned. Mr. Pettigrew's, I thought. I may get one there all right, but I wouldn't venture to bet he wouldn't be a clone of Archibald. More like a lazy, sickly Archibald if I knew anything but the pets in his store. But a teddy bear hamster was a teddy bear hamster, and time was running out. I called up Mooney for backup support. You may be allowed to work it, he drawled, but I doubt it. Mrs. D knows her Archibald. Mooney, of course, the cool cat, or so he thinks. In 10 minutes he was at my door. Yes, we have several teddy bear hamsters in stock, said the clerk when he arrived at Pettigrew's store. They have been here for quite a while, so they are a little fat. I walked over and picked out the thinnest fat hamster with the cleanest soiled fur and paid the unfriendly clerk. If you looked at the thing fast and didn't scrutinize him too much, he just might fool Mrs. Dorchester, at least until she got him home in her house. After that, well, I may just think about taking off to be an airline pilot. The unfriendly clerk placed a hamster in a box with air holes in it, and Mooney and I started to walk home. We hadn't gone very far before we heard a funny squeaking noise coming from inside the box. It was almost like a bird chirrup, but stranger. Darn it, said Mooney, bending down and peeking in one of the air holes. I told you, he's a squeaker. You'll never fool Mrs. Dorchester now. Chapter 6. Mrs. Dorchester returns. I was puzzled. I had never heard a hamster squeak. But Archibald never squeaked, I said. How come this one does? Different varieties, murmured Mooney with authority. Besides, what wouldn't squeak after being in one of Mr. Pettigrew's cages for a while? And that wasn't the only difference, I soon found out. When I got home and put him inside his cage, while Mom wasn't looking, I noticed the clone had real red eyes, a lot redder than Archibald's, and they weren't bright at all. He was slow and sluggish. He wasn't smart at all like Archibald, and he squeaked a lot. I picked up the cage and placed it in my room until Mrs. Dorchester was supposed to get back. I didn't want my mother to know I was fooling her, or Susie to get all excited again. After thinking about it some more, I picked the cage up again and poked it in the furthest corner of my closet. I even placed my sleeping bag around it to block out the noise. The very next day, Mrs. D arrived back 2 days earlier than expected and came to pick up her pet. She bounded in with presents of a plant cutting for Mom and some books for Susie and me. "Where's my little Archibald Twiddlypoo?" she called out as she walked in the hallway. "Mommy's come to get you." And I wonder what happens. I wonder what Malcolm's going to do next, or what's going to happen next. Will it succeed? Will his plans succeed in fooling Mrs. D? What do you think? I wonder. Well, I guess you'll have to read the book, Malcolm and the Hamster Lady, which is available everywhere, online stores, Amazon, Chapters, numerous online stores and physical stores. It's also in the libraries. These series are in the libraries. There's another couple of books in these series, in the Malcolm K. Wall series, which I will get into later, maybe next time. And these books were conceived. I developed these books. They're conceived, developed on the premise that every child likes to read, and sometimes they have a problem with reading. I guess you could say they're developed for reluctant readers, for kids that are just getting past a stage from picture books to full-blown novels with developed plots and characters and so on. These books have only 4 characters, and they're designed physically with large print, and maybe 11 or 12 illustrations in each book, which because illustrations aren't really needed in a book, in books that are not picture books. So this is sort of to get the feel of a real novel for your kids. You know, they're so anxious to get onto the novels, and sometimes they find them overwhelming because they're too long and drawn out and too complicated for them to really get their hands around, or to be able to really read them the way they want to read them, which is independently. Every child would like to read a whole novel independently, and that's why I developed these books. They're only something like 60 pages long. They have roughly 350 to 400 words a chapter, and they have about all total they have about maybe 9-10 chapters maximum. So they're little novels. They're pocket size little novels, and they're cute for kids who are just getting into learning to read a whole novel on their own. And as well, they're written in the diary form, which is first person perspective, the first person. So it's like as if you're just listening to somebody talk to you in a very identifiable manner. Malcolm is a very talkative guy, and he likes to tell his stories. He likes to talk about his adventures, and this is what these books are. It's all about Malcolm K. Wall's adventures. And he is a cute, good-hearted, hapless little guy who just wants to do the right thing, but he keeps getting in trouble for it. But you find out that, it ends up where he's, well, I won't tell you how it ends up. I'll just say that you have to read the books, and I hope you do enjoy them. And they're for all ages, of course. I mean, they're designed for children, for reluctant readers, or readers not just reluctant readers, I guess, but readers that just want to get their teeth into novels, after just coming off the picture books, and they want to be independent. So actually, Malcolm the Clots, even older people like this one, because I think it takes them back to some of the things they went through when they were growing up, and some of it, and it involves some of the old songs and some of the old parodies and the Beatles and all these people. So it's kind of it's kind of appealing to all ages really. So anyway, further on the Malcolm books, these are some of the press that has garnered. This was a TV Week special special layout and an interview and so on. A feature story on the Malcolm books, right here. And this is further detail. Another Out newspaper article. The Even Telegram St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. All about the Malcolm books and how I developed them, etc., etc. And on this one, I have a little Easter sticker, because Easter will soon be here. But of course this year will be different because we will be celebrating at home, in our own homes. So wow, that's nice things to do. And I'm sure, books will be among your celebrations. So I hope you enjoy these books and other books I have written, because I have the well-being of children with each one I write, the happiness, entertainment of children, and furthering of children's reading skills. This is another one. This was another interview as well in the newspaper. Oh, there's lots more. There's lots more letters from kids and librarians and it's mentioned down here that my text, Ryan-Lush's text, will also help build vocabulary and reading comprehension skills. So it's those books have been hailed for the betterment of readers and the furtherance of reading skills, which is the crux of what all my books are about, with the exception of the adult books, of course. But by and large, my children's books are designed and written with the furtherment of children's reading skills at heart. That's it for today. Well, I hope you enjoy. Until next time. Bye. Take care. Stay in the house. Be good.